start your week? What's the most purposeful way to start your week? Did anybody leave Tuesday and work on their calendars?
On Thursdays?
I did.
No, on what we talked about on Tuesday about time blocking your
Oh,
calendar
yeah.
so that you know what you're going to focus on during the week, and then making sure you're going to time block some special time on Mondays or Sunday nights or Sunday afternoons, whichever works best for you, so that you're really setting up yourself for success for that week. Anybody do that?
I
Why not?
did. I did the time blocking and sent it to my coach.
Awesome. I love that. And send it to her coach. Good job. Good job. Okay, let me see. I see Lucia is trying to get in. I got to move a bar here. Okay, we'll get. You all need to do that. Truly, if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. And if you don't have time on your calendar blocked out for real estate, then you're just doing it willy-nilly. How many of you actually, how many hours do you put in on average in real estate? Would you all be willing to share how much time you spend? Give me a ballpark it for me. How much time? And I'm talking about not only doing the real estate activities like going out and doing open houses, what have you. I'm talking about also the training. I'm also talking about the skill building. Are you practicing scripts and that type of thing? What are you purposely, the time that you're spending on real estate per hour, what would be your estimate, guesstimate? I'm going to ask all of you, so think about it.
I'm transitioning on this year from my
Yes.
business and real estate because I really want to commit more to real estate.
hmm
It's been just a little bit complicated, especially at the beginning of the year because we are behind on
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
And I'm trying to, like you mentioned, that is really hard actually because you're used to like, if you have something going on, it's your first reaction is to take care of that.
Yes.
And you think like, it's just like unconsciously you feel like if you don't do that, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
And
Right.
trying to manage that better on my
Chasing
side.
fires. We think that we have to
Chasing
chase
fires.
fires all the time, even when they're not real fires. And it's building those boundaries. And it's hard, especially as a self-employed person, because you're always worried about, am I going to lose business if I don't do this or I don't do that? And I'm not looking for how many hours to say, oh, you're right or wrong. I just want you consciously thinking, am I putting in enough hours? Or what is the amount of hours I can put in right now, knowing what I'm juggling? Okay.
Yeah.
To me, it's about having a consciousness of what time I'm investing in real estate, because I want you to stay realistic and not get discouraged or burned out if you're juggling two things like you are, Edgar, right now. And you're finding that you aren't able to right now devote as much time to real estate as you had hoped. Well, how much time can you be consistent with that? And then as the other frees up, then you can increase that time. See what I'm saying?
Yes, and I know it's like it's more than anything, it's more like rebuild my habits.
Rebuild the habits. Yes. Hi, Jaden. Good morning. Come on in. So tell me more about rebuilding your habits.
Well, I think it's like develop the mindset of that this is now my new business that I need to commit time. And I know nothing is gonna happen. It's just like people, if I have everything in the right place and I organize myself properly, the thing's gonna move along. And if I'm not there, I know nothing is gonna happen bad. So
Yeah.
it's just more like I'll restructure my schedule
Yes.
and be consistent with it.
Yes, be intentional and consistent with it. And we were talking about from Tuesday's class, I was asking how many people actually did some time blocking on their calendar so they're going to put that thoughtful time in on Mondays to prepare for their week or Sunday night. And then I asked, I'm asking everyone, how many hours a week are you currently spending on real estate? And when I say on real estate, anything having to do with this career, the training, the open houses, the marketing that you're doing, the lead generation. So Edgar, how many hours right now would you, Edgar's the first one sharing, would you just guesstimate for me that you've been able to spend on real estate right now?
I'll say 15 a week.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so make certain, here's where I would coach you to make certain you're putting 15 hours of real estate on your calendar, blocking it out. Now, if you have to move it around a certain day or what have you, but just so that it's consciously in front of you. And then with the intention of I'm going to fill up my calendar more with real estate, not less. So that's what you're going towards. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So you have this visual reminder of real estate's got, I have to spend some time on it. It's more limited right now, but I'm going to grow that time as it frees up from my
Yeah,
other.
you're right. When you have visual, it's like
Yeah.
it feels like exist.
Yes. Yes. And then that's why we say if it's not on your calendar, it does not exist. And it is easy to put it out of sight, out of mind. And it doesn't mean that you all don't have good intentions of building this business. It doesn't. It just means life gets in the way, life gets busy, and many of you are juggling other jobs, right? So, Jeffrey, about ballpark for me, how many hours a week do you think you're spending on real estate? And that's open houses, coming to trainings, coming to the business meeting, going agent tour, about how many hours a week?
Let's see, agent, the trainings and business meeting, I get here about 9:30 on Tuesdays and I leave about 2, so that's 4-ish. And then I come to these on Wednesdays, that's like in
Thursdays.
And what?
Thursdays.
Thir-
It's okay. I'm not sure what day it is either.
And that's like an hour and a half, so 5, 6, 3. And then I try to hold at least one open house a weekend, so that's like 2 or 3.
Mhm.
So I think 10 is a good ballpark.
Okay, okay. All right. Jaden, what about you?
Well, I kind of fell off a bit in December towards the end of the year, which I'm sure is a lot of people's story.
Yeah.
But
And that's part of being, that is part of the joy of being self-employed, that you do have that option to do that. But you also have to figure out, how do I keep business going?
right.
So it is a learning that habit of, how do I do this?
Right. I'd say consistently it's been all over the place, if I'm being honest. Probably
Okay.
12 hours a week, but I have a time blocked to get up to 20 hours a week.
Okay, okay.
So
Because you have a part-time job also.
Mhm.
So, oh, why did that happen? Oh, goodness. Okay. My screen share just stopped. So I appreciate that. And again, this is not about saying, oh, you're not doing enough. And I want you to just be consciously thinking about the time that you're spending, because in all honesty, this business will grow as fast as you go. Or another way of saying that is, this business will grow as fast as the time that you put into it. Does that make sense? So if you're expecting to grow fast and you can only do 15 hours right now, that's probably not realistic. Okay. So that's where I want you all to be based in reality, that this is, doing it, especially if you're full time, this should be a 40-hour job. You should be putting 40 hours in. It is something that you usually, especially in the beginning, you have to work up to. And like I said, many of you are juggling other positions. So let's keep going and let's talk to people online. We're talking about how many hours a week would you estimate that you're spending on real estate? Let's go to Olivia. Olivia, share with us. How many hours a week are you spending on real estate? Ballpark me if you have to.
I think as of
Hold on a
late,
second. Sometimes we have a little glitch in the sound. Let me see. Okay, try again.
Can you hear me?
Nope. Hold on. It's not fair that I ask you to talk and then you can't. Okay, Olivia.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I think lately I haven't been able to spend as much time as I've wanted to, and I think I've probably only been at about 15 hours.
Okay.
Um, but that's like my main goal this year is really putting all my time I can towards it. I just have struggled with having another job
And
and trying to
that's
manage.
why we're having this conversation is because I want us to be realistic about this. And that here's the thing. When we have more limited time, like I just said, it may take longer to grow this business. So I don't want you saying this isn't working or I can't do this because it's taking too long. We have to equate it to how much time we've been able to devote to it and the quality of the time that we're spending. So,
Hi, Christian. I feel like as soon as you start making money from this, I think you feel less um guilty about not doing anything or taking your time from what you do all the time.
yes. Well, and just the financial stress
Yeah.
too. I mean, let's be real. That's why this isn't a right or a wrong. This isn't to make you feel bad at all. It is about let's be realistic and let's plan towards the future of how can you more consciously start adding more time to your calendar. Oh, it shut down all of my stuff. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I had the PowerPoint up and it shut it down, so I'm going to have to get that back up. But you're right. Let's be real about this, and we have to put food on the table, and also whatever other obligations you have in life, right? So, Mitzi, you're brand new at this. How many hours a week have you been, or are you wanting or able to spend on real estate going forward? Can't hear Mitzi. Hold on. Oh, why is this? We were all set up and everything was. Mitzi, can you hear me, Mitzi? Because we can't hear you. Let me look and see. Yeah, your mic is not muted. Okay, you're typing, you can hear everyone. Not sure why. Jen, just type in, since I'm not sure why I'm not hearing you. Oh, bless you, Jeffrey. That was a sneeze. How about Elena? How about you share with us how many hours on real estate have you been able to devote?
I think around 15, 20 hours. And
Yeah.
especially with the like open houses, it takes time to prepare like all the flyers, all the like visiting the neighborhood, walking to the neighbors. So it's like, yeah. But this past month was quite quiet because of the holidays and life
Sure.
happening. Yeah.
Sure, I get that. So again, I want you all thinking about, is that enough for me to meet my goals? And that's where that business plan ties into this. Because if you have your 1-3-5 built out, you know what you need to do every week. You see the activities. If you need to do open houses, well, you're right, Elena. On open houses, your prep time of doing the flyers, scheduling, getting it all set up, your signs, getting your pointer signs up. I hope you're going door to door, doing the door to door, being at the open house, and then the follow up of it. That is a good 6 to 8 hours for an open house, right? So that is critical lead gen activity right there that I want you all to be conscious of. I don't want you to shortchange yourself and say, oh, I didn't do much. And then you say, oh, but I had an open house and I did all these things, right? So we want to make certain that you're thinking big enough of what you're doing. And then you're saying, okay, but I said my goal is I want to close a house a month, and it doesn't really work that way in real estate. But if you have, or let's just say on your business plan is I want to close 8 houses this year, then are you doing enough activities to get there? Thus, enough time put in. And if you can't, then what do we need to do and what? Okay, poop. I was almost going to be cursing the tech
no.
gods. And then let me reshare. Let's see. Tamisha, how much time are you able to spend on real estate right now? How much time are you spending? How much time are you, what's your goal? If you're available, Tamisha. And she,
You hear me?
yes.
I would say I'm spending about minimum time, would be 25 hours a week,
Cool.
minimum.
And is it on your calendar? Do you have it time blocked?
I'm working on that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
and that's the reason we're talking about this is let's build, like Edgar was saying, he nailed it when he said good business habits. We're
Right.
building good business habits, right? Um, let's see, who else do I have? Whitney is on. Whitney, share with us how many hours a week
Hello.
you're spending in real estate.
So I started time blocking I found a new AI that I'm using, Claude AI. It's a little more ethical.
Yes.
I've got a slew of reasons why, but I love it, and it has helped me with time blocking in my schedule, and to where like I'm like, hey, I'm adding these things, and it will just rearrange my schedule for me, and I can just depend on it to know. And I don't have to, I still have to sync my Google calendars and stuff. And I add those to it as well. But like my work is all scheduled out throughout the Claude AI. And it's been very helpful. I took time over like the holiday break to start planning a lot more and kind of gearing up
Good.
to do a lot more work than I was because I really had been neglecting real estate as far as focusing on my other business. So I'm trying to do the opposite now and focus much more on real estate. And then I think everything else will follow.
It will. When you start building those good business habits of focused time, the time you invest in your business, you're going to see the return of it, and you'll see the rate of the return will be predicated on how much time you are actually spending and the quality of that time and the focus. Are you just scattered and just all over the place and doing a little here, there, and everywhere? Are you really focused on the activities that will get you movement, right? Lecelia, how many hours a week are you spending on real estate right now? If you're available to talk, there she goes.
About 24 hours.
About 24 hours a week. Awesome. Okay. And you're juggling she has a full-time job. So and Connor, what about you?
Yeah, I have been around 10 hours, but I'm trying to do more open houses on the weekend, so that's going to definitely increase.
Awesome. Awesome. And again, there is not a right or a wrong. However, here, let me give you just kind of some recommended time spent. If you are dual career and you really want to make this your full-time gig, there's no way you're going to get enough momentum with less than 20 hours a week. Just going to be honest. So working towards that and building towards that, unless you can be so focused, like you can get really good return out of your database, because your database isn't going to take as much time as having to go after strangers, right? On those activities. So if you can get really good return out of your database, then it could be less than 20 hours to start getting something, right?
Makes sense. So
Yeah.
quality, not quantity.
Yes. And that's why when we have you do that business plan and talk to you about your lead gen activities, we want them to be narrow in the sense that we want it to be only just focus on 3 things. And maybe for some of you, especially if you're dual career, maybe it's you focusing only on 1 or 2 forms of lead gen and just doing them the best that you can do them and as deep as you can do them. Make sense? Because ideally, if you're full-time, you should be 40 hours minimum. This is a brand new business and it is built on momentum. And you need to build up to that you are spending 40 hours in these activities. And that's why we believe that 3 forms of lead gen make sense for you when you are full-time. Now, again, that's why we work with you so that you can have your own customized lead gen plan of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it so that it matches what you're good at, what you want to do, and what you're willing to work for. It's like if I tell you to do something you don't like, all jobs have something we don't like. So there's going to be some aspects, but if we can tailor your lead gen as much as possible to activities that you will actually pretty much look forward to, because I'm being realistic, not all of it's fun, but some of it can be very rewarding and fun. You can use your creativeness. You can use, Jeffrey loves open houses. He just loves that. He loves being able to interact with people. He says that he even draws on his theater background because we are performing to a certain extent, still being authentic, but you have to put out different energy when you're in front of people, right? I have to put out different energy when I'm training, and I put out different energy when I'm coaching versus when I'm just hanging and talking to other people. So, thank you for sharing the times that you have. And then I want you asking yourself, especially when you look at your business goals, are my business goals going to align with the time I have to spend on real estate? And am I able and or willing to spend more time on this to get this business off the ground? It's like an airplane. An airplane is not like a helicopter. It can't just go straight up, right? You have to go down the runway. You guys are on the runway. And when your plane takes off is very dependent on how much time you can spend on this business. Does that make sense to everybody? What questions? What's going on in your head about as I say all of that?
For me, of course, I'm thinking in 3 months, I'm going to be
Full-time mom.
a full-time mom. So there's just, I guess this could probably help other people too. Like if you have something coming up or something unexpected happens, how do you keep momentum while, quite frankly, shifting priorities?
You automate as much as possible with your marketing and your social media. You automate as much as possible. Because, and when you're dual career, you guys should all of you should have automated marketing in place. It doesn't replace you doing the prospecting, but it supplements and it keeps a consistency. And that consistency is crucial when you're juggling more than one thing. And because if you want to, Edgar, I'll use you as an example, you want people to see you in real estate and you don't have enough time to do this full time yet, you've got to make it look like you are. And your marketing can give that perception. When you're being full-time mom, you can still show and share value of information about the transactions and buying and selling, all of that, and have it automated.
Yeah.
And then once you are active and have transactions, you need the automated because you won't have time to do it then either. So that's what's going to serve you, is making sure you have enough smart plans and automated marketing in place, and you have a content calendar, and that you're creating content now
Mm-hmm.
that you can just like schedule and go. That's what will help you so that you're not looking like the doors of your real estate business closed when you're
Right.
having baby.
Right.
Yeah. Or when you get some jobs that are crazy busy and you've got to be more hands-on and following up with your crew. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for spending that time. It's really, really important that you all really think about and have it on your calendar. And here's what I know. Some of you are going to time block, and I could look at your calendar and go, yeah, I got it on there. Then my next question is for you to ask yourself, am I honoring that time? It's quite, I'm guilty too. Sometimes I time block stuff and I'm like, I can do that later, right? And I'll ignore it. Building good business habits or making certain. There's another bold law. I don't know if it's up there. What you erase, you must replace. So if your goal is to do 20 hours of lead gen, and something comes up and you can't do it on that day that you had it scheduled, then you have to put it somewhere else. Because if you erase it and you don't replace it, then you just slowed your takeoff runway. You just slowed the speed of your plane. And that's where you have to think, oh, okay, I've got to make certain I get those things done and I put that time in. I've got to replace it. So, okay. Well, let's go to our material for today. And that is, I'm all about being thrifty. Matter of fact, one of the things I love about real estate is compared to other startup businesses, it is probably one of the most affordable businesses you can start up.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, yes, it costs you money to get your license and to join KCRAR, and it feels like a big chunk of change. But if you look at any other startup business, this is probably one of the cheapest you can get into. And with the opportunity to make really good money. How many times does that happen? I mean, you can start up businesses and not make a profit some for a year, for 2 years. Do you all know that on your first transaction, unless it's a like $50,000 house or less, you should be able to pay yourself back all of your startup costs in real estate on one transaction? Tell me what other business you can do that in. I don't know either. There are very, very few that you can do that. And all of those startup costs were tax deductions also.
I was actually so I was putting my goals together. And I was thinking like, how much, because I want to replace my income coming from my business
Yes.
into real estate. And I was thinking like, just my personal, obviously, my personal expenses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's not many transactions to
No.
pay for that. And then
Yes.
everything coming from the business is like, so I can reinvest in the business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't have a lot of overhead. You have those startup costs, and then what are you spending money on? That's why I wanted to share this with you. And I've shared this class before, but I just love this of thinking about how can you, on very little money, get this business off the ground. And I truly, I don't like spending money. I didn't have a lot of money to spend when I got into real estate. I had enough for my initial marketing and my kickoff event, because I spent about $500 altogether on all my announcement and kickoff event. But after that, I didn't have money to spend on marketing and real estate costs besides what my monthly bill was and my MLS and KCRAR and my, well, we didn't have Supra, but the key, our lockbox key that we used. Okay, I know this is going to make me sound ancient, but the first key I had to get into houses was like a skeleton key that the lock boxes had in the bottom that you put in and turned the skeleton key, and then it would get you the front door key. Yeah. I think I had that for like my first year. And then
Oh,
they,
really?
uh-huh.
How long ago was that?
25 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then after that, they came up with the little device, right?
Yep, the little pager device.
Yes.
Yep, yeah. And if you left that at home, dang, you're screwed. I remember going for a showing, forgetting my little device because you had to charge it and so it would go in a charger and you'd be in a hurry and you run out the door. I live in Raymore and I had to go to a showing in Olathe and I get to the front door and I'm like,
This is like the early days of like RFID, like badge scanning kind of stuff.
yeah, and it was awful. And I had to look at those clients and say, I can't get you in the door. Yeah, it was awful. Now you carry this, and unless you lose your phone, you can get in. Yeah, it was a nightmare. You had to remember, do I have my e-key? Do I have my e-key? Do I have my e-key? And then you hoped that it was charged and working. So let's go through these ideas of low to no cost lead gen strategies. And like I said, I will load for those of you who aren't online, I will load the student guide up. Is it possible to build a successful real estate business without a huge budget for leads or marketing? Absolutely. Most of us, majority of us, I would say 95% of us have come into this business with little to no money, extra money for marketing and leads. Absolutely. Edgar and I were talking about how popular you all become with lead companies and how many calls you get. How many calls do you get a day?
3.
Yeah.
I don't get calls, I get text messages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're after you and they're like selling you like nobody's business. And they're telling you their leads are magic.
The good thing about being dead flat broke is it's very easy to
say no.
say no to trying to sell you stuff.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, like I talked with Edgar this week, I am not telling you that buying leads is a bad thing. I'm going to tell you that it may not be the best thing for you right now for where you are. For a couple reasons. The cost of them can be exorbitant. Zillow, that's where you can spend $10,000 a month on leads.
10,000.
10,000
Wow.
a month on leads for a certain zip code.
I think it was a few months ago, Amy Williams was talking about how she spent, I want to say over $2,000 on leads
Yeah,
and
she
none
did.
of them panned out.
Yeah, she did. And she was like, oh my goodness. And also you're not good at converting leads because you're new. You don't have the dialogue and the scripts and the conversation points to be able to convert them well. And you're not good at the systems of follow-up that are critical to getting your money out of those leads because many of those leads will not be now leads. And majority of them will be nurture leads. That doesn't mean they're not worthwhile. However, that means if you don't stay in contact with them and have a good, really solid follow-up system, then you just spent money, you just blew money. So that's why I say, if that's something you're tempted with, if somebody really is tempting you, always say, I need time to think about this. Talk to me or your coach, and let's decide, does this really economically make sense for where you are in the business? Now, let me tell you a success story. We did have one agent when he was new. It was Tracy Jacobs. He's an agent here. He had another job and he had the ability to pay for some leads. I think he paid about $500 a month for leads back then. And it did help him get business. Okay. But he was really good at the follow-up and he did do the follow-up system. So he did get a bang for his buck. He made more money than his leads cost. So for him, it did work. I will tell you, he's the minority, not the majority. I'm just being honest. So again, you can spend money. You are going to be tempted sometimes. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I'll tell you about buying leads. Those are people who don't know anything about you. And you've got to build a relationship with them immediately, and it may or may not. So stop chasing the leads, attract the leads, attract the business, because buying leads is a high cost, it's a low client loyalty. They're going to be, not always, but many times it's a harder client. High agent burnout because you're having to work so much harder to build trust and relationship with them. And it feels more like a sales job because you're just trying to close somebody. You're just trying to close somebody. You're just trying to close somebody because you know you're paying for them, right? When you do building relationships, that attracting business, that's low to no cost. That's connecting and with people and relationship building. That's what that's about. Higher loyalty and referrals. If people know you, thank you. I'm going to do it at the end too.
Okay.
No, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Sustainable and much more fun, because if someone knows you, then you're not having to build all that trust and loyalty with them. If they've referred somebody to you, that person's going to have, they're just going to walk in with more trust because their friend or family member said, use Jaden, she's awesome. And they're going to feel more confident that that's going to be a good experience instead of, ooh, I don't know what I'm getting with this agent. I got to check them out. And then it feels like you're more of a community connector and you're building community instead of just looking for random strangers and trying to convert them, right? I will tell you, the agents who buy leads usually just do it in the first part of their business, and then they start building a solid database of past clients, and then they go to a more database model, relationship building model. Now, if you want a giant real estate business, if you want to be a millionaire agent, sometimes you're going to have to buy leads and have a really solid database of people you know, because it's hard. You've got to have that always bringing people in to get that exponential growth. So that's what's important to understand. Any questions about that? Here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about tapping into agent referral networks. We're going to talk about buying lunch, not leads, the power of client appreciation and client events. We're going to talk about creating your own community and being where people are, because that's the name of the game. Okay, your biggest untapped lead source, other agents. Remember, I've talked about this. Who do you know that doesn't live in Kansas City? Have you told them you're an agent? Good. A lot of you have not yet, not enough. And you can't just say it once. I reminded my out-of-town people every quarter. If I was to do it differently, I would have them on a monthly newsletter of some sort, or a monthly email of some sort to remind them that I can help them no matter where they live. And then give them just some little tips on real estate. And then building relationships with other agents can bring you money. Meaning, if you have family members in another part of the United States, you can go ahead and build relationships with agents in that city or town and say to your family and friends, hey, if you need an agent, I've got a couple that I've already built relationships with. And then you say to those agents, if you have someone coming to Kansas City, remember, I'm your person. Because you'll never, you don't know the potential there. That's why when, is everybody registered for James Shaw for next week on Thursday?
Yeah.
Jeffrey, are you registered for James Shaw coming on Thursday? It was in my weekly email.
No.
Okay, everybody needs to, is everybody online? If you can, I know some of you have jobs. You need to be there. You need to be there. James Shaw is a rock star KW instructor, coach, extraordinaire. He's been my instructor, my bold coach. I've been blessed to be in numerous trainings and events with him. He's coming, we are bringing him to Kansas City. The community, does anybody does anybody listen to Pivot Shift Ahead in the morning like I have on okay. That community is so rich with referrals that they share. Duke just said in business meeting that he just got a referral from someone in the Pivot Shift Ahead community because he has participated in that community and built relationships. And he's never met that person in person. But they see him all the time online and participating. So the value of, don't think small in real estate. Don't think that you can only get business with a buyer or seller. You can get business from agents. Why don't you think bigger? You can get business or make money out of state through referrals. Don't think small. Don't stay small. There's too many avenues in real estate to be able to make money, and I want you all taking advantage of it. And many of you, if you really work the out-of-state angle, many of you, it could be your first commission check. It was for Noelle when she was brand new. Her very first commission check was a referral commission. She made a couple $1,000s. That's not too shabby for just doing a little matchmaking.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, your per hour rate with referrals is like maybe $1,000 an hour. Who wants to get paid $1,000 an hour?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you may spend 2 or 3 hours interviewing agents and figuring out who's a good match. Dang. So think bigger, because these things don't cost you time, they cost you money. I mean, they don't cost you money, they cost you time. Don't underestimate the power of this. How to tap into feeder markets. You can actually on Command, you can go into Command and find out, there is under the referral tab, the ability to find out where are people moving to from Kansas City and where are they moving to Kansas City. And it'll show you on this map where the flows of people are coming and going from Kansas City. Very cool. Very cool. And then, there's just, it's amazing how much you can do there. So I've even got scripts here. I love paying referral fees. I found you while researching top agents in Atlanta. I know it's a key area that people move to from Kansas City, could be the script. Be honored. And if you have anybody, or you could do it reverse, saying, I know a lot of people that move from Atlanta. It looks like they're moving to Kansas City. I'd love to be that referral person. Can we talk further about that? Learn about them. See if you want them as a partner. Interview them, but start out saying, hey, I want to be able to do this. It's personal. It stands out. One agent sent 50 of these emails or text messages. 2 months later, a call came leading to a cash buyer who closed in 8 days. This one activity consistently generates several referrals every year for this agent. Why wouldn't you do it? Why? Add that, circle that, say, that's something I'm going to do. Lunch, strategy number 2, buy lunch, not leads, or buy coffee. You know what? You don't even have to buy coffee, just have people meet you. Remember we were talking about setting scheduled time in coffee shops and stuff like that? But one of the things, you probably don't know who Mary Beth Schwartz is in our office. Have you? Okay. Well, and I say this lovingly, but she's a real estate beast. In her first year of real estate, I'd say for her first 6 months at least, she was meeting with somebody every day. She was having coffee, she was having lunch, she was just meeting them wherever they had time. And in her first 6 months, and she did a boatload of open houses. Her first 6 months, she didn't do anything, no business. Guess how many closings she had in her second half? It probably was more than, it was probably like 6 to 8 months, but in the next 6 to 8 months, guess how many closings she had?
8,
Keep going.
20,
Keep going.
Oh, wow.
30,
Keep going.
100.
40. She had 43. Now, 43 is almost unhuman.
Yes.
Okay, and that's why I say she's a beast.
Mhm.
She doesn't, I think, sleep or eat. I don't know. She's just this superhuman. But with that concentrated effort of meeting with people and talking to people again and again and again, that's how it exploded. So not only are you spending enough time on your real estate, are you spending enough time just talking and connecting with people? Because if you're not, then this gets hard. And what it can be social media connecting. I mean, I'm not saying it has to be in person. Person is the most powerful. Let's be real. Face to face, belly to belly with somebody is the most impactful relationship building time you can have, because you're showing time and attention towards someone, and people appreciate that. Now, it can't be about you just talking about you. But if you're thinking about buying leads, don't do that. Go buy lunch or coffee. You've got that extra money to do. Spend time with people, because really your new mantra needs to be, it is for all of you, I'm a relationship person. Now, some of you are more outgoing than others, and some of you are going to see that and say, well, I don't know if I like people. Actually, we had an agent, Tom McChesney. Tom McChesney retired from real estate about 5 years ago. I've known him for years. He very introverted, very, I will lovingly say, one of the most nerdy people I've ever met. He actually did have a pocket protector in his shirt pocket. And he would tell you, I don't really like people. But what he meant by that, he didn't like lots of people. He never came to any of our parties here. I think he came to one holiday party because he didn't like crowds, or he didn't like that. But one-on-one all day long. And guess who he attracted? Other nerdy, introverted people. That's who he worked with, because they loved him nerding out on spreadsheets and numbers with them, because their brains worked the same. So I want you to know that we are all, unless you're a hermit, you do have relationships. And it's not always the quantity, it's the quality. So don't think that you're at a disadvantage being an introvert. You just go about it differently than an extrovert. That's okay. That's okay. Because in those relationships, if you're taking 2 to 3 people from your sphere to lunch or coffee every single week, then there is no agenda. Your only goal is to connect, listen, and find ways to support them in their life and business. If you try to do the business hustle and only speak about you and real estate and all of that, then you're going to have commission breath. And that turns most people off. Some people are not aware enough, but some people, but I'm like, how can you not see what's happening here? And then the magic is during those conversations, it also almost always is going to circle back to, so what are you up to, or how can I help you? Because people like helping people, but they also want to see that, how can you help them? Let's be real. As humans, we do have a selfish nature, even if we're not, there's a selfishness always in there. Some more pronounced than others, and some it's just there. So yeah. But this leads to natural and consistent flow of high quality referrals and business. So I loved it when Suzanne Wessel, another agent here, she came from social work. prior to real estate. She's a very quiet and introverted person. And she said, Kristen, I can't, some of this lead gen you're talking about, there's no way I can do this. I'm not calling strangers. And then we talked about this concept of just go out with people you know. She goes, you're kidding. I can go have coffee with people I like and that will build business. I said, yeah. She goes, I can do that. I can do that. That was like her relief of, because she was really questioning whether she could do real estate because she couldn't see herself doing some of the activities we expose you to. And that's why I say, we're going to expose you to everything. And then let's find out what are the matches for you. Because something that turns you off, I don't think is a good idea to do. Now, I'm not saying be closed. Never say never, because you never know. I would say be open to at least find out more before you say absolutely not. Okay, strategy 3, the power of appreciation. Your clients want to know you care. And for those of you that are new and haven't had any clients yet, this still applies to your database. People we all like it when someone shows us appreciation. So when you're starting out in this business, I bet, Jaden, you've had people say to you, this is great, or comments on your social media, and this is awesome. You're going to be great at this, right? You've had cheerleaders. Those are the people you pour into and you circle back. I always think of it this way. You should have your own kind of informal board of directors, those people that you love and trust and that are cheering you on and say, tell me about your experiences in buying or selling a house if you had. And if you haven't yet, what were you most fearful of? I want input so I can have a better idea of how to help people. So ask them for help in this new business. If even maybe with some of them, if they're tech savvy or marketing savvy, can I show you some of my marketing pieces? I'd love to get your input on that. People love helping other people. Now, their advice may or may not be good, but at least people love to give their advice. And then you showing appreciation for that support and input is invaluable. That's just like making a relationship and just taking it to the next level. It is. It's not about asking for business. It's about giving back and reinforcing the relationship. We actually say in Keller Williams, I don't know if you've heard us say this, but it's a very common phrase, come from contribution. Because we cannot we can't sell someone on buying or selling a house or make them do that. No matter how persuasive you are, Edgar, you can't make someone buy or sell a house. You can show them why now might be a good opportunity and what the benefits might be for them. But at the end of the day, it's too big of a dollar decision that they have to make the decision. It's not like a pair of shoes that you could maybe get somebody to buy even if they didn't love them, but you were so persuasive that you got them. I remember having a salesperson at a store do that to me, and I went home with something that I didn't like. Anybody else had that experience? And I think it's only happened to me twice, but I remember distinctly, I can even see her at the rack of clothes going, and then before I knew it, I went home with something, and I went home and I was like, I don't even really like this. But the dollar amount of it wasn't so big that I would have thought and say, no, I've got to really think about this to make this decision. It was more of an impulse buy. People don't impulse buy and sell in real estate. And that's why coming from contribution and showing people how you can help them is the most important thing you can do. Share with them things of value, information of value. How do they buy a house? What are the steps? How do they get pre-approved? How do they do credit repair? All those things, that's information you can share and be of value. That's coming from contribution. That's what gets you clients, because then they're like, oh my gosh. You know what they want from us? They want what they don't know and don't have access to. we have access to information on the market and learn the skills of CMAs and negotiating and writing contracts and all that stuff. They don't know that. We have access to information on properties more than they do. That's what they want. That's why they seek us, is because they don't know that.
Interesting you say that because I'm wondering if that happened the same in real estate. In construction, you always have customer who think they know everything.
Yes.
And you're doing something and they're there and kind of telling you that they know and they want to like get involved and
Get in your business.
yeah, really uncomfortable.
It happens in real estate. It does. There are know-it-alls all over that's why in real estate, you have to set the stage of how the process goes. You have to have the boundaries because a really strong personality like that will be bossing you around.
Yeah.
And when you're new, you're more susceptible to it because you aren't feeling like confident in what you're doing. You're feeling kind of awkward and like, I'm not sure this is right. And that's where they can take advantage of you. So it does happen, and that's why it's so important to be careful because there's know-it-alls everywhere. Okay, so here's a case study of appreciation. Now, this might not be what you're going to do right away because you don't have a lot of clients, but I know agents who have done this, and this is just an example of what is something inexpensive that you could do to show appreciation. A lot of our agents here do. Oh, there's Alice. Hi. Hey, Miss Alice, Happy New Year.
Hey,
It's okay. Get in here. We're just glad you're here. We're just glad you're here. A lot of our agents in this office do pie giveaways at Thanksgiving. They either deliver it to their clients, which I don't recommend. Uh-huh. Like,
Yeah.
Have a pickup party.
yeah, you do a pickup party, do it here. You can have refreshments and appetizers so they can linger a little bit. Some of them just do it in the parking lot and just hand it to them in the car. It's not so much just this, but the idea of what is it you could do. Now, since I'm thrifty and I was new and I was on a budget, what I did for my top cheerleaders, and I had because I got a client early. I got lucky with an open house and got a buyer. But after that, I had to really work my database. And so I didn't have a lot of money, but I started doing pop buys. Pop buys are where you take just a little something to people. I don't like taking them to strangers because then they might be fine getting my freebie. I did it to people I knew. So I would do holidays, but I didn't do everybody because I couldn't afford everybody. So I'd be only like 10 to 15 people at the most. And I would like Valentine's Day, I do a $5 gift card to Starbucks and a cute little card that I would design and make. And say I was thinking of you. Hope you have a great Valentine's Day. And I would hand deliver those. Halloween, I found these cute little ceramic Halloween candy jars on like Oriental Trading for like a dozen for not very much. They were only, $1 or $2 each. And then I filled them with like candy corn. And then I made a cute little, and then I had a little bag and I dropped those off. So take this idea of appreciation because I was appreciating the people who were supporting me in my new business, even if they hadn't given me business yet. But they've been so supportive and encouraging. I wanted to thank them for that because many people know, building and starting a new business all by yourself is hard. And they want to cheer you on in doing that, right? So think of the different ways you can do something along this line and maybe build to something like that. I did one client event, appreciation event a year. I would never do that again because I had like 200 people come to my house. Every year I thought I'd almost tried to kill myself because of all the work that was involved. And we'd have potato sack races. We'd have, oh my God, we had so much going. I had a DJ. I had
You're definitely like the hostess with the mostest.
I
so-
love hosting,
Yeah.
and in my former life, know that I used to do event planning for nonprofits and stuff like that for fundraising. So it is my natural habitat, but I would do smaller ones now if I was an agent and mix it up because I didn't get to talk to anybody. I was just like a mad woman, just racing around the event. How's the food? How's the, how's the bathroom? We need more toilet. I mean, even though I had some teenage volunteers, it wasn't enough. And so it was exhausting. And I really didn't get to spend time with people. And I literally couldn't wait for them to leave. It's like, I don't know, are you leaving yet? And some of them were having too good of a time. I'd be like, oh my God, the party ended an hour ago. It said it on the invite. You can't show that, but inside I'm like, oh, please, you're killing me.
Start passing the invite around.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm so glad you could come. So glad you could come. Start taking plates away from them. So again, ideas on how could you do something similar to this? What could you do? Our next holiday is Valentine's Day. You are a sweetheart to my business because you've been so supportive. Now for guys, you might not say that, but see how you can get clever with that and show people appreciation and build and strengthen those relationships. Strategy number 4 is build a community, create a community, go beyond a database, build your tribe. Host an event that connects people with each other and with you simply as a facilitator. Who likes any of you game players, board games? Okay, you could do game night and bring people together. It is not about talking about real estate. It is about being around people and it organically comes up. Jaden, what have you been doing? Oh, I did something crazy. I started in real estate. Really? What's it like? How's the market? That's what they're going to ask. How's the market? Yeah. Okay. So what is it that you love doing? I love crafting. My goal this year is to do probably not monthly, but maybe every other month or maybe every quarter, a craft night and have a themed craft for my friends that because I love making stuff. So why not have people make stuff with me, right? So find something, if it's wine tasting, go out to different wine bars and again, you don't have to spend money on it. Have them like for craft night because it is going to cost me some money. I'll feed it and I'll feed them. I'll tell them if they want any beverages beyond what I'm going to have, bring your own. But I'm going to ask them to cover the cost of the crafts. It'd be like $10, $20 at the most. And it'll be fun. We'll just hang out and eat, drink, and get messy. So think about what it is that you do, because this is what makes real estate more enjoyable is when you're doing activities that you actually also love that get you around people. Right? Alice did a toy drive in December. Share, how did you feel it went? And did it meet your expectations? Did you what were the benefits of doing this? How many people did you connect with?
I feel like knowing how it was done after, I think even when I was getting closer to the day, I was like, oh, I should do this, oh, I should do that. I didn't have too many of the funds to do what I wanted to do. And then I got paid for coaching at the beginning of December, and that's like a week before my event, and didn't have time. I was still thinking like I was broke too. I was like, I don't have money. Who am I? Okay. But I would have done something like games for people to play while they're there, activities, something to entertain the people more than just like
hang out.
You come to the bar and you donate your toy. But there was the raffle, so they did get the chance to win the raffle.
Yes.
It's like the maybe 10 people that came all brought like 10 to 15 gifts, so the names were like stacked in there, you know.
Yeah, but that's
with
okay.
the amounts of tickets, and it was fun. I connected again with like 10 to 15 people. I sent them all thank yous after they left.
And here's the thing, can I tell you that your social media made it look like a much bigger event?
There were people there for the live music that didn't come for the toys. So there are people that came for Beer Co. and didn't realize.
Okay.
It's all about how you know.
You planted seeds, you strengthened relationships.
Yes.
For a first event, I think you did a spectacular job.
And the Ivanhoe community was really thankful.
See, giving back to the community when you can do stuff like that. If you want to start smaller, then maybe start with a food drive or a coat drive and either say you'll come by and pick up, or have them come to your house and drop things off, or have them come to the office and maybe at a specific time you say, I'll have, a cheese plate and some beverage. It doesn't have to be a lot. But those nonprofit type of themed events are very popular. And because we're agents, I think it's important we give back to the community because we make differences in the community. We help people buy and sell houses and communities. We help people invest in houses and communities and rejuvenate neighborhoods. And so we make a difference in communities. And I think it behooves us to give back to the community.
If you go to like any neighborhood association website, you can see the list of the realtors that are involved. And if they're a good website, you can see like the kind of projects that the realtors do in the neighborhood. So
Yep.
we can get some ideas from there or just.
I think that's a great idea. Other ideas, like favorite wine night. I already said you could go to a wine bar. Or you could do it at your house and have people bring 2 bottles of wine. And then you have a game at the table of 8, 1 bottle for each person is set aside and the others are wrapped in a blind tasting. So see, you can have fun and spend very little money. And that's what I love because that sounds like fun to me. Find out what it would be for you. How to host a low cost, almost nothing. You can also, did you have sponsors? Did you have any sponsors?
Well, Beer Co sponsored in having the event space, and
Yes.
they provided their $50 gift card for the raffle. I
Lovely.
didn't pay for that gift card. My mom's volleyball club sponsored the $100 gift card that I bought.
Awesome.
And then somebody else was.
But you had other people. You had other people.
Angel.
His home health
Yeah.
company.
Yes, his home health company
Yeah.
sponsored me.
So just you can have lenders will sponsor you, other businesses will sponsor you.
I think people want to be involved and they love when you come to them with the idea already put together and they can just pay their fee and tap
You
their
do
name
all
on
of the
it.
work for
Yeah.
them and then she gave them credit. She yeah.
I added them as collaborators on my post, so then when they accepted, my post was on their page, so their followers could see me.
See the cross posting? It's then you're just building audience and exposure. I love that. Strategy number 5 is be where the people are. Do people do business with and refer business to people they know, like, and trust? The mistake is joining a group. This is a huge mistake. Okay. I'm going to preach on this one because sometimes I do. I know you guys don't notice, or you do. I get wound up sometimes. Join a group or a club just to get business. People can smell commission breath a mile away. The most classic one is people say, I'm gonna join my local chamber. 1, it can be expensive. 2, they just go to the coffees and meet people and hand out cards, but they never say, I would love to go get coffee with you and hear more about your business or what you do. They never take it to the next level. They're just trying to hustle out there instead of build relationships. So you get involved with a committee or something. if you're going to do any networking or join any clubs or volunteer for any nonprofits, it better be something you're passionate about. Because wouldn't it be lovely to be around other people who are passionate about the same thing? I mean, are you going to go volunteer for an organization you don't care about or you disagree with? No. No. You shouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it at all. Accidental success story. Okay, now most of us can't afford to join a country club. But this agent, she joined a country club because that's what her spouse wanted to do. And then the agent wanted to take tennis and learn tennis. So she just started taking lessons for fun. And then she built genuine friendships with no agenda that she met because of that membership and because she was playing tennis and taking lessons. And this one lifestyle change led to the agent's average sale price increasing from $248 per house to $998 in 2 years.
You know, Kristen, I can't afford a country club membership, but I could probably afford some time in the summer to be a cart girl
Yes.
and a part-time job.
Or there are some gyms too that aren't very expensive that have professional people in them. So yes, get creative. Yes, most of us cannot join a country club. But take this idea and think of how could I do something similar that would get me around people, right? Because I know you have a goal of working luxury real estate someday, right? Okay, so you have to think about how do I get around people like that, right? Find your place, school involvement. The two key places I got business from my database were my daughter's school. I was also an alum, so I was also on the alumni board. So not only was I there every day dropping her off and picking her up, I also was there for alumni meetings every month. The first client I got was the director of admissions. She wanted to buy a house in Brookside. I helped her do that. She only stayed there a year because she got an amazing director of admissions job with a university in, I think, Wisconsin, and I helped her sell her house. And then I helped some other teachers. I helped their teachers' kids, adult kids, and then I helped families of that school. The other place that I got most of my business was from my former place of employment. Once I got one of my former coworkers, they all started to fall in line. I just had to get past them, one of them seeing me helping somebody they knew.
Yeah.
It worked so well that there was a small HR department because we were a national company and this was just the Kansas City branch. We had a small HR company and I worked for a health insurance company and they would hire doctors and sales management and they would find talent all across the United States. And so they were using an agent to refer these people to for out of town employees or talent coming in. I became that agent. So I got to help all the doctors coming in and out of Kansas City. Well, not all of them, but I was the go-to person and any of the sales management that came in or was leaving. See how this starts to build? So it is the local charities, it's your interest groups, it's service organizations. Think of where you can be to be with more people. If you love gardening, go volunteer at Deanna Rose. They have a wonderful program. Or Pal Gardens, they're looking for volunteers. I mean, find the things you're passionate about. For you, when that munchkin comes, you're going to do mom baby activities. There are those classes. It was Gymboree when my kid was.
There's like now play cafes and stuff too that are.
You'll have a
more
community of
casual.
moms and babies that you'll be plugging into. See, it's going to come naturally. So what of these that I shared today, which resonated with you all the most? Which ones resonated? Everybody's going to have to share one with me.
Popeyes.
Popeyes, yep. Building that appreciation and appreciating people. I really think Valentine's Day and you're the sweetheart of my business, or you're the heart of my new business.
Mhm.
I so appreciate all of the cheerleading you've been doing for me on my behalf and supporting me, because this is a journey.
1 in 4, referral network and connecting people.
Love it. Love it. Edgar, what about you? Any of those stand out to you?
I mean, yeah, connecting with people and spending time and
Here, you
building new
can-
relationships.
Yes.
I get using the fun time to build business.
Yeah. What is it that you love to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, what about you? Of those 5 that we talked about, you can find them all on the like the back of the second page.
I like the community one
Yep.
and the lunch one, because I will go to lunch with my friends from church on Sundays,
Perfect.
and I'm working on one guy.
Okay.
He's apprehensive about me because I'm new, and he's wanting to go with another agent at church.
Hmm.
We sold this guy his house.
Okay, so here's how I would, yes, you guys are new. But you know what other agents can't say? I have a team. Most of them can't say I have a team surrounding me. I have a coach for every step of the way. I even have a contracts coach that is going to review every single document that I'll be creating and you will be signing. I have an in-house lender. I mean, I have a team surrounding me every step of the way. One of our new agents last year, 2 years ago, Leah, when she was in the program, she found somebody in an open house. He was interviewing other agents. He really liked her. They really clicked. And she said, come in and meet my coach so that you'll feel comfortable about the support I have. She brought him around to meet all of us. Her coach, she brought him to meet me. And he was like, I'm comfortable that you have the support. I already click with you. Now I feel because she blurted out, I'm new. I said, you don't have to say that to strangers, but she did. That's her personality. But she won him over by saying, I have support. I have amazing support around me. Okay, awesome.
You know, I like that idea that you say about instead of paying leads for a company, did you see that money even like to join something
Yes.
like a club, or instead of paying
And
to
get
pay leads?
around the people.
Yeah, get
and
around the
get
people
lead
yourself.
organically.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Because we
very-
get the for sale by owners, the expires and everything else sent to us, rather than paying for
Yeah,
seeing
don't
who
pay-
might be searching online, go connect with them and.
And
see who
might want to
It's
buy a
just like-
house.
It's like you get in front of
Exactly.
people, you're like getting fun
Exactly.
time, and not just like seeing that money going to someone else.
I agree. I agree. I agree.
Just
Why?
really that you then have to call over the phone and you don't know, and nobody, I don't want to talk, I would rather someone approach me.
Oh, yes,
Exactly.
well, I mean, it's a lot better,
Yeah.
always a lot better.
100%. It's so much more comfortable and easy. And it really connects you faster when you're meeting somebody face to face and starting that relationship that way. It's just, I hope this also kind of debunks some of the myths about lead gen. That it doesn't have to be awful things. So those of you on Zoom, share with me. I'm going to call your names. Share with me of the 5, tapping into the referral network, buying lunch, not leads, the power of client events and appreciation, creating your own community, and being where the people are. Which of those resonates with you, Connor?
Yeah, I think the out of state referrals and just connecting with your, people out of state and other agents, that's huge and something easy you can do.
Yeah, love that. Mitzi, what about you? What ideas have you gotten from this? Let's see if your microphone works. Mitzi? She might not be available.
You put it in
Ah.
chat 2 and 5.
Awesome. Thank you. Olivia, what about you?
I think the investing in stuff that you just feel passionate about
Mhm.
and it just feels right is what stuck out to me the most because I think that'll be the most fluid way to incorporate it into my life and just continually be growing my business without signing up for something that doesn't feel like me and feels like a task outside of work on top of everything.
Yeah, no, I like that. Elena, what about you? What resonates with you?
I think building relationships with my sphere, with the people who I'm comfortable with. Being a foreigner, sometimes it's hard for people to connect with me because just I'm a foreigner. So, but I think people who know me, just my community, and also I was thinking, like in my church, for example, we did some food drive. I would think like I should have done it as I could have sponsored, and I actually gave money, but it wasn't like as a real estate
Just
agent
sponsored.
sponsored. So, and I think those little details, I think they add on, like things that you didn't think, like you do it naturally because you've been a part of that community, you want to help. So, but at the same time now, like you can, I, I don't want to say monetize on that, but just to,
No,
I
but
don't
now
know.
you're bringing your business to
Yeah.
the table of participating and supporting.
Yes. And I mean, out of that, so many people came and asked me about like, hey, I need like your idea on the housing and so on and so on. So I think just basic
Love it.
building what I have already and just
Yes.
don't think like just maybe a small card or something and just capitalizing and working on that and deepening that and bringing value. I think that's for me. Like, how can I bring value if I do launch some social media content, how can I bring value? Like my mechanic is a great guy who comes into my house and takes my car and brings it back and cleans and everything. So, and it's affordable. Can I recommend him so that's he can help someone else and that helps him? So it's like a circle of things
Yes,
of
it's helping
bringing
other people.
mutual value.
Yeah, I love that. I love what you said. Gary Keller says, and others do say, none of us can succeed alone. And you succeed best through helping others. You really do. And that's really what our job is, helping others. Tamisha, what of the ideas spoke to you?
I would say out of the 5, the 2 that stood the most out to me would be investing more in relationships and then also getting more involved within my community.
Yeah, good. Love that. Cecilia, what about you? Of the 5, what stood out to you? What are you wanting to do? Cecilia? She may or may not. I know sometimes people are there. She goes.
Getting involved in my community without any agenda. And
Yes.
yeah, and then also connecting with people.
Good. Good. I love that. Love it. And Whitney, what about you?
Well, I really thinking about digging in more to my like community and like so I'm in an intramural sports league and do a couple different sports with that. And then also like I am a master gardener and they've got a intern, but they've got meetings and they work on a garden every Tuesday. And last year I just did not make it a priority to go do that. But I was thinking about how many people and connections that I'm missing out on by not going to participate in those. I worked on a different day and I was like, why am I not making that a big deal to make sure I'm there so I can have those connections?
Oh, definitely. My mom was a master gardener. She was a volunteer. She put a lot of hours into that program and had such a good sphere of friends from that. She loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Okay. Well, thanks. I hope you got some good ideas. If you did not, let's scan. I'm going to come off of the owl so that I can do my camera here. But if you all would scan this code that I have right here, you can just, if you're in the room here, you can just look at this that I have, and then I'm trying to bring it up on the camera.
Good.
Here we go, front.
And also, Kristen,
Done.
I just was trying to register for the James Shaw thing, and it says the event is canceled. Is it because it's full?
Reach out to Yvette and tell her you want to go. We had one of the QR codes was not right that had been shared. And so if you're having trouble registering for James Shaw, please reach out to Yvette and she'll get
Okay.
you signed up.
Okay, sounds good.
It'll be on the 15th.
Able to.
Yes, and today is
It's on Wednesday.
No,
right?
it's on Thursday. It's on Thursday
Oh.
the 15th.
Oh, okay.
What was the class? Just lunch?
Launch. You can, yeah. Okay. All right. We're just 2 minutes over. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Good participation this morning. Good
Yeah,
job.
thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what you do. And remember, you don't need a lot of money to do this. Okay. All right. So let's go make it a great